Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Well, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that for the world. I'm not doing it just for us.
That was President Trump speaking during his 12th cabinet meeting of his second term yesterday, accusing Iran of trying to stall on making a peace agreement by running down the clock before November's midterm elections in the hope of getting a better term. This comes as U.S. forces carried out another round of self-defense strikes in Iran yesterday, intercepting 4 Iranian attack drones near the Strait of Hormuz, striking a nearby drone control station where those drones were being launched from. Now, Iran reportedly was about to launch a 5th drone from that station in Bandar Abbas before the military stopped them. I want to bring in Nebraska Congressman Michael Flood. Congressman, your reaction to the overnight developments, and do you believe that we are close to a deal with Iran?
Well, I think we have to continue to protect U.S. interests, and Iran certainly would like to delay this as much as possible. But, you know, President Trump is in this to do the right thing, which is to protect our homeland, make sure Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, a dirty bomb, because if they had one, they would use it. And so I think we're right to wait until we have an actual deal, keep the focus and the pressure on this regime that clearly has a long history of delay. And that's the only way we're going to get an answer. It's going to be peace through strength, not through accommodation.
Let's talk about what's going on within the party and on the Hill right now, because Republicans working to get the party line immigration funding bill back on track after they were derailed last week. Now, President Trump's $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund is a major point of contention on the Hill right now. And this fund aims to establish a formal process for Americans who claim they were targeted through politically motivated actions under previous administrations. Now, House Majority Whip Tom Emmer was here yesterday. He told Maria that Reconciliation 2.0 will still get done. Listen to this. I want to get your reaction.
The problem right now is communication and information. Now we're talking about American citizens who have been targeted by their own government having a cause of action. And I think members who are opposing it right now or want more information.
Do you expect the reconciliation bill to fund immigration to be on the president's desk by June?
I do.
So you're going to get this, the Senate will get this done in the next couple of days, you think?
We've gotten to know each other a little bit, Maria. Where I come from as the whip, if you say you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. It's like the big, beautiful bill last year.
Yes,
we said we were going to get it done by July. We got it done by July. The president wants this by June 1st. God forbid that the senators delay this beyond that date, because the House will get it done.
So, Congressman Flood, does this dispute between the two chambers within your party, the $72 billion immigration package, is it in jeopardy, in your opinion?
Well, there's no option for failure here, because we cannot go with an unfunded Border Patrol or immigration enforcement. That was what the 2024 election was all about: securing the border, protecting the homeland, getting the criminals out, and making our streets safer. It makes no sense not to fund those two core agencies, especially when Tom Homan, I think, has restored a lot of respect in the last couple of months, certainly to ICE. So we're going the right direction. There is no other option besides using reconciliation at this point. Listen, I'm not in the U.S. Senate, but when the Majority Whip, Tom Emmer, tells me we're going to get it done, he's also our chief vote counter. I have no concerns that the House will do its job, and I'm just hopeful the Senate can expedite the process so that we can move on to all the other issues we have coming up, like FISA extension, like maybe the Senate passing our farm bill or our housing bill. We've got a lot coming up that needs to be dealt with.
Do you believe a reconciliation package in the fall is possible?
Well, here's the third thing I want to talk about. How are we going to replenish our munitions? Right now, the Democrats seem not interested in getting the Department of War more money. We have used a lot of our munitions in the Mideast, at Venezuela. We have to replace those. It's a national security issue. And right now, as I read the tea leaves, I don't see any other pathway to funding our defense efforts without a Reconciliation 3.0. And that's a really sad statement when you think about it. Funding our national security to make sure we have the munitions to protect our homeland and our efforts abroad. If the Democrats continue to say no, 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 we are setting a terrible precedent where we do everything through reconciliation. This is a very bad decision that they've been making, and it needs to get corrected.
But so, I want to pivot back to the anti-weaponization fund, this $1.8 billion. I mean, this is the crux of the dispute right now. Do you think that gets pulled out?
Well, to Tom Emmer's point, think about the pro-lifers that were targeted or the people that were advocating in front of their school board. Like, the Department of Justice under Joe Biden did target everyday Americans for their honest beliefs. I do think that it's really possible that the Senate will put some guardrails on that might even be acceptable to the House. Like, at the end of the day, we have to get more information about where the Department of Justice is on this. Some Americans were unfairly targeted, and there should be a victims fund for them. Make sure that none of the January 6th rioters that were in the Capitol that were injuring Capitol Police, make sure they don't get a dime of this money, but make sure that the people like pro-life groups, Turning Point USA, people that went before the school board and were targeted by the Department of Justice, make sure that they're compensated for what they went through. That's
interesting. That's an interesting point that you make about the guardrails. Obviously, we're going to be following that. You are on the Housing and Insurance Subcommittee. You are the chairman of that, excuse me. But so the House did pass the Financial Service Committee's amended 21st Century Road to Housing Act. 13 lawmakers voted no. So this expands loan access. It encourages local governments to streamline permitting, restricts investor-backed corporations from buying single-family homes. The bipartisan housing package, it's on its way to the Senate now for final approval, Congressman. So you chair that subcommittee. You led the House's version of this bill alongside Financial Services Chairman French Hill. How are you feeling about it right now?
Well, it's the most impactful housing legislation in 36 years. We protected in the House version build to rent. We made some important changes to the home partnership program. We're allowing grantees to use their CDBG money for home construction and giving cities more latitude, easing some restrictions. Anytime you have a bill that French Hill, Speaker Johnson, Tom Emmer, Steve Scalise, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, I mean, we got 396 bipartisan votes to put this across the finish line. The Senate has a lot on its plate. We would love it if the majority leader would put this on the floor. I'm confident it can get 60 votes. Let's get it to the White House before the silly season of elections are upon us. And let's walk away with a bipartisan win. This is what Americans want to see from Congress. They want to see us solving problems. And housing affordability, home expenses, the #1 expense of every household in America is that mortgage check they write to their mortgage company. And we can do better and will do better under this law.
I agree with you, Congressman. Housing, health care, the energy story right now, all of it is playing into that wallet picture for the American public. And it is a year for the midterms. Congressman, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.